Hi, I'm Kyle Gibson, and I sustained a concussion in 2009 playing football. I sustained my concussion in the second game of my football season, my junior year, and the hit that gave me the first feelings of pain in my head was a routine tackle about 5 minutes into the first quarter, and the fullback ran up the middle, and I ended up meeting him as a linebacker, and both of us fell to the ground, and as I got up, I felt dizzy and a little disoriented and pain in my head, but first thing I told myself was that I just got my bell wrong. So, game went on, I got hit again and again and again, and whether it was on a kickoff or playing defense, every time I made contact with another player, my head started ringing and hurt more and more and more. And it didn't matter if I was hitting with my head, or with my shoulder, or with my arm. Each time I felt contact with someone else, my brain felt jarred and it hurt more and more and more. The pain that I felt during each hit I would describe as a stabbing pain, right? Very searing to the brain. But after each hit, how I knew it wasn't, just the physicality of a hit was that it lingered. After the game, I made my next mistake, and I decided to ride the bus home with the team. And as you can imagine, we just won our second game of the season. We blew out the team we played. The bus was loud. People were being rowdy. Lights were everywhere. Noises were off the charts. And as I sat there, I've never felt a worse pain in my head, or I've never wanted to throw up as much in my life. And after that, I met with my trainer, who, gave the final and diagnosis of a concussion, and went home and slept the night. Next morning, I woke up. I got to the high school. I met with my trainer again. We took the impact test. My scores went from 80th, 90th percentile down to the first, second percentile or worse. And the most obvious symptom to the eye was that I couldn't stand still and talk to someone. I had to be moving. I was always swaying, and my balance was just horrendous. The issue of anger, I could probably, at the time, I was a 17-year-old boy, so I mean, it's normal to be angry, but little things would get to me. And it wasn't necessarily during the game. It'd be a week later when I was in the trainer's office with another friend who had a concussion, actually, and it's almost comical because anything, like a little thing he said would get me angry, and then any little thing I said would get him angry. My injury lasted about 6 weeks, and each week differed from day to day. Right after I met with my trainer the next day, he referred me to a concussion specialist, where I went to a physician specialized in concussions, and he gave me a protocol, and the first thing he told me was that you need rest. My parents and siblings were very supportive. We had great information flowing to us from the high school. I mean, we'd seen it before. We'd seen other kids with concussions, and it kind of hit home to have it happen to me. As a student athlete, I was very anxious to get back on the field and back into the classroom. I didn't want to have all my work pushed off. So I took the impact test over and over and over, and yet my scores still wouldn't rise. And I tried to do more and more work. Thanks to the standard protocols we had in place, and the technology we had in place, and the people that were able to assist me, luckily I didn't go back to play, and I took another week or two to fully heal, be fully ready, so that nothing impacted me beyond this concussion. The number one thing I took away from this experience was I was being extremely stubborn during that game, and that the fact that I stayed in for 3 extra quarters was the main reason why I had to sit out 6 weeks instead of 1 week. At the end of the day, it's not the next play that matters during the game, it's the next play in your life that matters. It's your job, it's your salary, it's what you're going to do when you leave the football field, the lacrosse field, or the wrestling mat.